In this episode, I'm going to show you where you're wasting money in your social media content. Today, we are speaking to creative agency owner Jen Fage. Her business is called Be Inspired Media, and they are our contractors here at Baddow Park House. They're hip and trendy, and they work with some big brands: Amazon, River Island, and LG, to name a few. Jen is a character, very straight talking, and this is another episode you definitely won't want to miss. I'm James Martin, and this is Entrepreneur Conversations. Jenny, thank you for coming over. You didn't have to come far.
I didn't.
Because you're only over there on the estate.
I've been shooting in the venue.
I mean, just let's get it out there. We'll go to this straight away, listeners and viewers. Jenny is one of my tenants.
Yep.
So you have a lovely unit and offices with us, don't you?
The best one.
The best one, you do. Own toilet facilities, very rare here.
I mean, I viewed it and it was not the best one.
No, it wasn't, no.
And you thought I was mad.
No, I didn't. I just said, thank God they're taking that one. No. You do contract work for us. Mm-hmm. So what is the business? What do you do?
So Be Inspired Media, we are a content marketing agency. So we basically create content, consult on content, whether it's for socials, websites, TV, everything, for all brands, all different kinds of brands.
And give us a flavour for our listeners and viewers. You've done some good big names. Who have you worked for?
The biggest is Amazon.
Yeah.
But we also, my favourite is taking brands from the start, from the ground up. So that's where my love and me trying to nurture them and bring them to. Because
some of these founders of their businesses need to be really educated, like myself.
Yes.
When I first met you a few years ago, I couldn't quite get my head round that we would have to do it in this format, and you kind of honed us into a different way of thinking for our socials.
Yep. It's a lot of people. The thing is with content these days is it's easily accessible to everyone. So anyone can pick up a phone and create content, as you know. So it's how is that being used? How is that being used? How is it repurposed? Is it interesting to you as a business owner? Because we've had this discussion a lot where you would see stuff and say, I want that. And I'd say, but that doesn't fit your brand. So it's really understanding the brand for each individual client and how we're tailoring that to make sure it works for whatever channels, whatever target audience they're looking for. Are they trying to reach a new target audience, which we've been through when you started doing weekday wedding, the ceremony only?
Yeah.
How we make maximising on that and pushing it to the right people.
But you're prickly, and I mean this in the best way. That you have it your way to do it, and you see it in your ADH brain, however your brain works. You see it how it should be,
I don't have ADHD.
And you do go for it. What do you mean you don't have ADHD? You absolutely have ADHD. My God, Dr. Martin just says you do and you do. But your brain, you don't take prisoners easy. I mean, you kind of get frustrated when people don't listen to what you want or they don't implement.
It's more the fact that you're bringing us on as specialists for a reason.
Yeah.
And then when we get founders or directors or marketing managers who, how can I put this in a nice way? They think they know what they want, but actually they don't. So why are you coming to us anyway? You're bringing us in and you're spending a lot of money that then you're telling us how to do our job.
Yeah.
We're the experts for a reason. And when you bring in Be Inspired, we are part of your team, as you've
absolutely.
well witnessed.
I mean, I'll go. On a serious note, we think you're quite an integral cog to how the machine works for finding customers. We do not retain a customer. Mm-hmm. We have lots of people come with the customer that we want to make sure that they have a great time. But we need a robust funnel. I mean, I seriously need to underwrite the business with high quality contractors, and part of what you do, the storytelling, your very young team that I love. There's so much energy there, and you must enjoy having them around you. That they're young people that are understanding what's going on in their demographic, and their demographic is becoming more of a buyer of our product and being the weddings.
Definitely, and they all have to love, like I say to all of the people that work for me, Be Inspired isn't my business, it's our business. I want them to grow. I'm really, really fond of bringing in young talent and nurturing them in the way. So really taking them under my wing and not so much teach them everything I know, because they teach me stuff, and that's the way it should be. And I don't overlook anything that they say. I will always sit down and say, okay, what's your rationale for that? Why do you think that way? Because I don't know everything, and I'm trying to run a business now. Rather than creating everything that goes out the door.
We kind of had a double win whammy with you, because you also knew our space, because you did work in that space as doing wedding photography, and you had been around the business in that way, so you knew what we were trying to aim for, and that was some difference and some quality, because there's a lot of noise in there, isn't there? And there's a lot of samey stuff.
The wedding industry is a weird and wonderful industry, I like to call it. So I fell into that. My background is marketing and branding. I worked agency side, I worked client side. I fell into the wedding world when I had kids, and it worked for me then, and I loved it. But I also had this sort of need I want to create brands. I want to create that content. And when I started being inspired on paper, I think it was like 2015? Yeah, so 10 years ago, the content world for brands was still kind of that old corporate kind of style. It wasn't really anywhere near what we're doing now. Oh. But I could see that it was moving in that direction. When we got you as a client, it was like, oh, I can still bring the love that I had, because with a client, you send it on to the marketing manager, unless you're dealing with a founder. They go, oh yeah, thanks. And then next month it's forgotten about. Whereas with the wedding world, it's so much more personable. So it's kind of nice that we still get to see that with Baddow Park.
And I think the thing that I constantly open my phone up and see what's going on, as you build our grid month on month for us for the content to go out. But I see that we're picking up on season, we're picking up on event, you know, whether it's a trend on dresses, whether it's a trend on food, everything is taken into what is the atmospherics for those new people wanting to buy weddings, coming to see and bump into Baddow Park House, and how we do it. Our pastoral care is something that we gave you as a remit. We need to get across. You can see the same pile of bricks somewhere else as a wedding venue, a country house wedding venue. How do we emulate to our customer that it's the who looks after you, not just the pile of bricks you come to?
That's why we were really keen on starting your mini pod feature with Gaynor and Kelly, because it's more conversational, and what you get out of that is so much more than just showing pretty stuff. Obviously we want to show that. I mean, Baddow Park is a really good example for anyone that's trying to build a content base, is on social not to be selfish, which a lot of brands forget about. They just talk about my product or my venue or whatever it might be. And what we want to do is bring in those other suppliers, help brides, in your case, and grooms work out, what is this venue going to do for me, and how are you helping me and holding my hands, from social media through to I know how everyone at Baddow Park looks after you, like you said, in the pastoral care. That is shown on social. We've taken that as part of your brand ethos.
You build little quizzes as well, don't we? We do little quizzes on there to get people engaged and stuff. And I think in this is entrepreneur conversations. I hope that people can see what they can see in seeing you doing your business as a female as well. They can be. I really want to promote that if they can see somebody else doing it, they can be it. And I think from I joked off air earlier about coming up with this idea of what you wanted to be in your bedroom as a young girl, and then telling lies to get a job in a hairdresser's and doing all this stuff.
It's actually true.
Yeah, it is true, and I think, kind of, if you're in that desired world of wanting to become this fantasy that's in your head, the reality is you do those things, and you do actually tell yourself this unbelievable story that you suddenly start believing and can work towards, because you suddenly have a vision to go towards. Otherwise it's, I could never do that, and in the end you end up believing your own conversation with your own mind. And I think what definitely, from what you were telling me earlier, is that you start telling yourself positive things, that you can be this person. I mean, I see you, then I don't see you. You've been working overseas as well. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so one of our brands, it's a sun care brand, and they come to us with the product, like the bottles, but they didn't really have, I was like, okay, so what's the brand? What's the story? How are we selling this? How are we making people feel? And this is something that I feel really strongly about. It's not just something that looks good. It's designed well. Your social medias are following all the trends. It's how does that product or that service or whatever you're doing, how does that make that your end user feel? And we created all of that for them. And then they actually launched in America before they launched in UK, even though they're a London brand. So we've been in LA 4 times this year, about to go Miami and then back to LA again.
And good fun. Do you enjoy it? I mean,
yeah,
it's a lot
amazing.
of travelling.
It's a lot of travelling, and it's really hard. I've got 2 young children,
Yeah.
well, youngish, they're teenagers now, so it's hard juggling that. But at first I was a bit apprehensive, because when they said we're going to be going out there quite a few times, because they got bought by big names out there, stocked in big names. I, as a mother, if any other women in business who are mothers looking at this now, it worried me that I was having the mum guilt. But actually what I've realised is it's made them realise they can do whatever they want to do. They've put their mind to it. So my youngest knows what she wants to do. She's like, I want to be a hairdresser, but I want to own the salon.
Yeah,
and
great.
It's really weird, because when she said that in front of my mum started laughing. And I said, why are you laughing for? She said, because when you worked in the salon, you come home one day, and she went, and that was the moment I knew you'd own a business. It's because you said, your exact words were, I'm not going to be just a hairdresser. I'm going to own a salon. And she said, I looked at my dad and went, told you. And she said, I always envisioned you pulling up at the house in a nice car, busy day, rushing around, always on the phone. And they always used to laugh that I was the mum from Rugrats.
Okay,
Is it Cynthia?
Yes, Cynthia.
Yeah,
that's right.
And my mum was like, that's going to be you. And it actually is. Like, my kids know. I sent Ollie a voice note yesterday, and I had to tell one of the kids off in the background for being too loud, but they're so used to it now, and they use it to their advantage as well.
But you talk then about the guilt, mum guilt. I think there should be a phrase that just says, business owner and entrepreneur guilt, because it is very much that. Am I just being selfish to me wanting to be this roaring success? Am I just doing this to show off to people watching me, or I think they're watching me, or is anybody watching me, or nobody's watching me? But the guilt thing and the family thing, I mean, God, I'm a terrible, terrible dad. I've not been there for birthdays, sports days. I've got 5 children, and I have really juggled and really had guilt about that. Jenny, I think it comes with the territory if you're serious. And I'm not, as much as you can do your planning, your weeks and the rest of it, that phone rings, you desperately want to answer it and solve a problem for someone that needs you.
And I am that business owner that if any of my staff call me at any time of night, I'll pick up the phone. And if any of my clients call me, if I don't pick up, it's because it's not a great time, because it's something's happening in the house, but they'll get a message, or they'll get a voice note, or they'll get a call back ASAP. And I do stick to that. And you talk about missing birthdays. One of the trips to LA was an opportunity of a lifetime to go to Coachella, and it fell on my youngest birthday, and I did not know what to do, and I ended up sitting her down and saying, Mummy's got this opportunity. It could blow for Mum. Like, she understands business in a way because she's been brought up with it. She was only 10 at the time. If you don't want me to go, I won't go. And she said, does it mean I get an LA present and a UK present?
Oh, that was a good compromise. She was
a
smart cookie.
You can have any LA present you want. And she went, okay, but she said, no, Mummy, I'm proud of you. Then
that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, she was like, I'm really proud of you. That's amazing. And then all the
Jenny,
models
that
and
was
stuff.
good,
All
wasn't
the
it?
models I was working with all sent her happy birthday messages, and she thought it was great because she was on the phone to me that morning and I was in an earthquake. So, she had a brilliant birthday, but the time and the skill it took for that to happen with her dad, my mum, my siblings, all coming together to be like, right, Jen's there, but what can we do to fill that gap? So we all work together, and I couldn't do it without those people. But it's weird that you just said, what do people think of me? That's probably the worst, the thing that's bad, that I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't.
No.
Sorry, excuse the language. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks of me.
No. And that's
I just do what I want to do, and if you don't like it, don't like me.
And I have seen that when I've been in meetings with you, and you said, "Well, that won't work," but you can carry on saying that you want to do it, but that won't work because I've considered it, and I know from experience that's it. And I think that goes a long way for a founder to find someone that will actually get on with the job and be passionate about doing it. Because if they weren't passionate, they wouldn't argue with you. They'd just go, okay, all right, we'll just do it your way, Mr.
I could easily take your money,
owner.
anyone's money, and just go, okay.
Yeah.
But if I feel really strongly, then I will.
You definitely don't choose to do it that way round, do you?
No.
You know, you put your stamp on it and say that's how it's got to be. Your team, I find, and I've spoken about this earlier in the pod, but your team, I've worked with them doing some videography over here. Their energy and their excitement, it obviously drops down from you. You're putting that. You're bringing the weather to that crowd. They come in. They do love it, don't they?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a dream job for a young person, isn't it? Really.
I think I get on average about 25 people email me a week asking for jobs or work experience. Yeah. Which was the reason why I'm launching what I'm launching next year. The reason for that, I was like, hang on a minute, I've got something here. Yeah. Again, entrepreneur brain, I was like, I need to do this. So yeah, it's they all love their job, but I hardly read CV. I'm really bad. I hardly read CVs.
Tell us, what are you going to launch? How are you going to deal with this?
So exclusives. It's going to be called Be Embedded. So me and Lola, you know Lola very well. She's like my right-hand girl. She's been with me 5 years. We always sit down and look about like who's our main competitors. There's always people coming into the space, obviously. Yeah. And I said, agencies, freelance videographers, they do not bother me whatsoever. They're people we should learn and build from and trust and help out whenever we can, if we need to. Our biggest competitors are brands wanting their own in-house team. We can't compete with that. If they decide that they want that and they've got the budget for it, there's something we can do. But actually, what we can do is provide those people, because most marketing managers or founders, they might go, okay, I need a videographer, or I need a professional content creator, or I need a professional social media manager, but they don't know what they're looking for because it's so fast-paced. What are you going to do, a
recruitment thing?
No, so we basically, you pay a retainer and we provide you with someone that we've trained. We manage from afar, but it's not just someone can graduate from university or just be naturally talented and pick up a camera and be great at their job. It goes without saying. But actually the strategy and the concepts that sit behind that, and there's so many platforms now, like where is that going? Why are you doing that? We've had this conversation before when I say, that's okay for that channel, but once they get to your website, that's got nothing to do with me because we don't manage your website. Yeah. However, let's come in and let's work, and I work really closely with Kelly for a new website in terms of like the consultancy around that. So it's the strategy and the forward thinking and the management and the training. So my head office team that I've got, the management side of it, will look at that on a monthly basis with that content creator, provide the right kit. So they, I'm having a conversation with a brand right now and they said, oh, we've got $2,000 for the kit. And I was like, that's not even going to pay for the camera. No. So we provide enough kit for them to be able to do their job from a more of a social point of view, which we call our pro-social service. But actually, if you need, I don't know, if that company then had a seminar, but they need 3 extra shooters, we then provide those people. We can oversee, we can provide a producer. If they decided they wanted a podcast, we then have our kit that we can then bring to that client. But they might not need a podcast kit, which is going to cost them X amount of money. It's expensive,
Jenny, this stuff, isn't it? I mean, even Ollie working with me here, we've probably got a budget now of up to $20,000 that we've spent just to run what I do, and we also do a bit of the filming for the wedding venue as well. I mean, my kit room, like people walk into the room. I had a new recruit the other day, and he was like, "Whoa!" Yeah, it's not this whole thing about whether you're going to do this promotion, whether it's companies or a personal brand or whatever. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not, well, I'll give it a go and see how it goes. You're either in or you're not, aren't you? Because once you're in, aren't you? I mean, you kind of are. Otherwise, it doesn't work without it.
You need to think about the strategy, why you're doing it, what's needed for what platform, the consistency, the look, the feel, your brand. There's so much. It's rather than just someone running around with a phone.
Because I spoke to you, and I spoke to a couple of other people, when we started doing the podcast and what we were doing and why we were doing it. And the question you just said there, why we were doing it. And it was for down the road was going to be some monetization from it. We wanted to give back. We wanted to promote entrepreneurship and give them ideas to how they could get on quicker. And the one bit of advice that you said to me was just do 6 months to a year of no requests on it at all. All you're doing is giving out, building up the platform and getting to some foundations of who you are with your famous to a few people. And that's what has to happen first before any requests for any messaging goes out there afterwards. And unless you've got the backup of the money and the time to do that, you've got to really consider why you're doing it. I mean, guys, I hear so many people, I'm starting a podcast, I'm starting a podcast.
I've been shooting over there today and 2 of the models went, I want a podcast. And I'm like, about what? And only one of them could give me a clear concept of what she wanted and how it made sense. And the other one was like, I don't know.
And the why are you doing it? Well, I'm doing it because I think it's really trendy. That's not a good enough answer.
No.
You need to be doing it with a means to an end. And what do I gain out of it? We'll just talk a moment about it, Jenny. What I gain out of it is I get recruitment from the podcast. People come and ask me to work for us and with us. I get offered deals with business. We get people coming into mastermind from it. It's a very good platform for that. You can try before you buy, because you can go and meet the person or meet the team in the wedding venue. They can come and meet the team before they even come to the wedding venue and find out who's going to look after them. And that's very key.
I think it's just a great thing to do. If you've got knowledge of something like yourself, you've had years and years of knowledge in different businesses, in the business world, you've made mistakes, you've learnt from them, you've, grown. People don't... I mean, my podcast spoke about this, where I just said no one talks. It's like everyone's too scared. And actually what's great about it now is people are willing to open up and say, I screwed up, but this is how I went about it, or this is, I found this really hard. But the screw-ups have got
to happen.
Of course they do. And that's the thing, I think people don't talk about that enough. And like you said, like, how do I look? And and all of them lot over there laugh at me because I go, I don't care. Think what you want.
But when the difficulties come, you've got to use the difficulties to your advantage, haven't you? When the pressure's on or the money's not coming in.
That's when I work best.
And the client's not paying you. It's when you get bristled up to come up with inventive conversations or ideas or paragraphing to make things happen for you. And it's only under pressure that I think sometimes that happens. Jenny, what's going to happen going into the future now with AI in your business? Explain that in a bit more. How do you personally see that?
It's using it to your advantage to work smarter and faster. And realise that I have one client that goes, you could just create that on AI. And I'm like, no, you can't. They send ridiculous examples where, I don't know, Gucci have paid £25,000, but they want it done for £1,000. Like, it's not going to happen. But it's understanding and learning it and using it to advantage to work smarter and faster. And sometimes even little things, you can chuck something in and it doesn't give you the idea. It makes your brain think in a way that you've probably blocked off.
And we're kind of working hard to make sure that we can't be seen that AI have produced any content for us, because we don't want that, because we think that dulls down what we're about. And I think it's the overseeing of the copy, even though we've got some good questions answered for us quicker, to then put it into to great slimline paragraphing and things that we might need to be giving out for a message for whatever the business might be. Having the conversation with you about AI, I just find so many companies are just sleepwalking into a dark alley of, you need to really pay attention. You either got to embrace it, and in some cases they've got to get out of what they're doing because their business won't be there. They might be in insurance, or they might be in an industry that's just going to get wiped out. Like money investing, that'll just be done on an algorithm. They tap a button. It won't be there in 10 years. No. It just won't be there. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know about Baddow Park Mastermind. I have created a mastermind for high-level entrepreneurs. There's only 16 spaces and we've only got a few left. If you often find you're the biggest fish in the pond at other masterminds, click the link in the pod description because this might be just for you. Now, back to the pod. How are you about retaining customers? What's retention like? Do they come for just a short burst of you or do you just get long-term? What happens?
That's something I'm really, really proud of and I take a lot of pride in. Most clients, they move on to new brands and I get taken. That's how I don't advertise. My website, I can put it out there. I have not updated it all year, which is terrible. There's been a lot going on. It's been really busy, but I don't need to at the moment. It's in the works at the moment. But every single client of mine, as it stands right now, has come from a recommendation or has come from they've moved to another brand and they've brought us with us and they've sung our praises and we've gone in and pitched and then won that client as well. So one of my clients, she's taken me right from when she was at Lakeside, which when it was into, through to Westfield to another company. And now she's about to land me in her new company as well. And that's spanned over the course of like 8 years. And every single time it's because of the nurturing and how much that relationship means to me. Every single client means a lot.
Can you scale the business or is that difficult? You can only deal with so many customers.
Yeah, no, 100% I could. I'm really... the way that I've built it so far, so even though on paper it's been going for 10 years, actually it wasn't until 2019 that it started kicking off because I was just doing it as a side thing with the weddings and just sort of seeing how it would go. I employed Lola and a week later COVID hit. So we actually then sat there and was like, what are we going to do now? Because we can't go out and film. So that's when I was like, right, well, I can build brands and I can build websites, so let's do that. Yeah. And for 6 months, in 6 months, I think we built 15 websites and we completely diversified everything. And then we said, right, when we can get back out and shoot, this is the content we're going to put in here, and here, which has really helped the business. But I've really made sure that we scale at a pace that doesn't feel too much because for me personally, I did have young children. Now that they're both in senior school, it's like, okay, 2016, this is where we go. What are we doing? And it is a case about having good management. For me,
I think that the management is key. That you can step away from that and still be working on the business and not in the business. That you're more creative and finding new customers, new technology, new ways of doing stuff, or whatever it might be. But you're out in the field working on the business and not in the business. As a customer of yours, my paranoia is that Jenny's company gets too big and we just become a number in a churning machine.
Get this all the time.
Explain that, because people would like to hear and understand that.
So,
how do you mitigate that?
So for me, obviously we work really closely together because of where we are. I have to see you. I have to see you every day. Unfortunately for both.
We just pass each other with our phones in our ears, don't we? Yeah.
I get the Mickey taken out of me that I just walk around
in circles. I just walk in circles.
I'm like, I might as well get my steps in while I'm on the phone. Yeah. But every other client, apart from you, because you don't see that side, is that every 3 to 6 months they will see me on shoots. So me or Lola, Annabelle, she's just left. She was our producer, but we're on site. We don't just leave them to it. And that's making sure that we're there. We're always status calls, weekly calls, monthly calls, and them seeing the management side of things and making sure that, we haven't got, as you put it, young people, but they're not all young. All of them are young. But they're not just being sent out like a number and just been told to get on with it. It's very much from the moment we start the content strategy for each month ahead, it all comes from senior management. It's not that they just don't deal with an account manager and they're left to it and that person's left, now it's a new one. I've had, because of the business change around, 2 people leave, I'm on every single shoot for the next, by the time I finish, 8 weeks. Okay. Which all of a sudden the clients, like 2 of the clients, the Galvin brothers, they were like, oh, it's so great to see you. And but even they said, we always know that you're watching. There'll be a message thread, and then all of a sudden I'll pop up and be like, right, I've watched through this, or da. I don't just leave it to them. I'm always CC'd on everything, which my inbox looks the way it does, but it's so I can really oversee and just make sure that I know nothing goes out unless I've seen it. I don't approve it because I don't need to, because I've got the management there who approve it and I trust. But nothing will go out until they get a thumbs up from me that I'm happy with it. And that just makes sure that everything that we do comes from the origin of the business, which is my passion.
And are you doing, when someone comes to you, are you picky on who you want to work with now? That's changed, baby? Yeah, because you'd like, let's just get some business, as much business as we can. Oh God,
we've all been there where we've taken stuff we don't want to. So
explain how that works, because you were telling me that has been the change for you, to be able to have the option to not work with certain people.
I've let 3 clients go this year.
Right.
Well, I just called them up and I was like, I like you as a person, but the business is not where we want to be going.
No,
it's because the types of people, and this sounds harsh, but the types of people that want these types of jobs don't want to be working for companies that are not exciting to work with. No. And it's really hard. But then what I do is I say, actually, do you need someone like that? What do you need? This is where Be Embedded comes in really well, because they might need a videographer 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And I can say, okay, we can split that down, but you don't need a team that I need. You need someone that I can give to you that works well for your business, not someone who works for my business and I'm trying to make them happy, because my staff being happy and enjoying their jobs and coming in that studio every day or going on a shoot every day. Like, I have someone today, they've had someone pass away this weekend. She turned up this morning with a massive smile on her face. And I was like, what are you doing here? Because the job that they do, they love. And she's like, I want to try and give this morning a go and see how I feel. I want to be here. So that's really important to me. So the Be Embedded, launch will help me if there are clients that I'm like, you don't really suit us, but I can give you this, or I can put you in the right direction of a really great freelancer. But
you're really now as the owner and the founder of the business. You're just a consultant, aren't you? Really, I mean, you're. I can't see you going to do any selling. You're kind of consulting in there.
I'm in that weird space actually.
Yeah.
Which I probably need help with, if I'm honest, because is the business making enough money to have a business development manager? No. So I'm still having to plug that gap. But actually, operationally,
you actually need that person, but you'd have to pay good money to get them in. But can you afford to do them today?
Exactly.
Or can you afford not to have them in to give you the freedom to come out? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
That is a very difficult space there.
And that's the one I'm struggling with the most, because no one can sell Be Inspired the way I can sell it, because it comes with raw passion.
Yeah, but as the owner, if you can get those management positions going, and they're never going to perform like you did, so you need to accept that.
Yeah.
So there's going to be sort of 15% lower expectation there, but for you to be able to come out, find new clients, engage with the old clients you've already got, find new technology, check that what you're doing is the future for the industry that you're in. Go on those industry huddles and cuddles wherever they are around the world. Be part of that thing. I think, Jenny, what you could be doing more than anything is more of your podcasts where you're actually doing education within your field, and you're becoming a true wonky, outspoken expert in your field. And I think that's really that is actually who you are. And people will actually gravitate to that, because I'm a bit of a grumpy sod, and if you don't really do implementation of when I'm trying to do mentoring with you, in the end I just go, do you know what, I think we'll probably part company. You do it your way because you keep telling me how you know how to do it, and I'm not interested then, because I'm older in it. I want to work with people that want to get on.
I love my job, and it takes a lot out of me to do what I do.
Yeah, it does.
I never switch off, ever. My mum often says to me, oh, I'm just going to get a job. I'm like, what do you mean? This is a job. Like, I pay X amount of people's wages. But it's because she doesn't want to see me stressed. But I couldn't do it any other way.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that. How do you manage that? How do you manage the stress? And I want you to tell the viewers and audience and listeners, what's your difference between worry and stress? Do you worry?
Yes.
Right.
I do.
So neutralisation of worry is action.
If I'm worried, you'll know when I'm worried, because I go into crazy mode where I'm like, right, we're going to do this. Like I'll come in and everything will change.
So that is the action, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when the worry's there, the only way to get out of it will be the action. And then stress, you bring stress on yourself. So you bring the privilege of having the stress. So how do you deal with that?
I just work all around the clock. I was up at 3 a.m.
Well, you were here Sunday, because I was here Sunday and you were in.
What was I doing Sunday?
I don't know. I thought I
was setting the studio up. Yeah. Because I was sitting at home and I was like...
Because this entrepreneur, but own your own business, well, you can just do what you want. You don't have to go into work. It's just a breeze, isn't it?
No, yeah. But I will sit there. My partner was something, he goes, do you ever put that laptop down?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're up for coffee. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Yeah. He just looks at me like, oh, okay.
Jenny, what's been, and I ask these questions of most guests, what's been the worst moment when you've been doing all this stuff, this sort of little journey? What's been one of those horrible moments?
I just hate accounts.
Accounts?
I hate accounts. I hate accountants. I love you really, but I hate you at the same time. I'm just shit. I'm really shit. When I open my laptop and I go, right, I'm going to do accounts. Once I've got 10 minutes in, absolutely fine. But it's anxiety. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. And I don't know why that is, but I do. I think, I don't want to look at numbers.
So then do the flip of that.
What nice stuff.
What is the nice stuff? So what's the best stuff? What's that best moment that you've had in your sort of journey so far?
When Sky rang and asked to recommend us.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. It's a TV ad partner.
Yeah.
So they recommend people that want TV ads.
Okay.
For their Ad Smart if anyone doesn't know Sky Smart, check it out. It's amazing. Right.
This is where they localise ads into places.
Yeah. Or demographics or.
I was here one Christmas and I'm walking around.
Ashley Banjo.
Oh, blimey. I walked up. Oh, his mum bumped into me first.
Good old Danielle.
She's a powerhouse, isn't she?
She is amazing. I've worked with Danielle and the diversity team for years through Lakeside. They're a good bunch.
She's the manager of those boys, isn't she?
Yeah, whips them all into shape.
Doesn't she?
Yeah, she's amazing.
I mean, she was oh my God.
Yeah.
But she was lovely.
She's amazing, beautiful soul, but she just knows to how to get what she wants. Like, she knows what she's doing, obviously.
But he was very good. That ad was a great Christmas ad, wasn't it? Who was that for?
Lovely. Lakeside.
Lakeside, it was a Lakeside ad.
Yeah,
it was good, wasn't
Lakeside, it was brilliant.
All done here at Badderbuck House. Badderbuck House. Hashtag in.
Yeah.
I find the whole thing with my team and Kelly and Gaynor and all the people there, to have those younger people around me as a seasoned entrepreneur.
They love getting you in stuff, don't they?
It just is such a gas. When they do stuff, they say, right, just jump up in the air and say this, or you've got me saying all them words the other year when it was last year. But it's such good fun, and it keeps me young, and it keeps me on point, and it keeps me learning stuff. And the whole evolving of what the stickiness for things to happen. And you were explaining to somebody else, I was listening, how to make a brand sticky, how to make attention spans. They were slimming right down to sort of within seconds of swipe across to say no, to how you hold their attention. And even producer Ollie and me have had to learn that, to what we do with headlines, to get in that sort of being a red top newspaper for our podcasts on YouTube. Mm-hmm. It is. So there's some science and messing around.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen instantly.
No,
either.
It doesn't. No.
And I think that's I had a client the other day, and they said, "Oh, our followers haven't gone enough." I was like, "But your engagement is through the roof. Yeah. Your followers aren't going up, but your engagement's massive." And they have to juggle it because they've got buyers who are old school still and still looking at followers. So you're really having to juggle that to keep the client happy, because they're getting told by buyers that they don't have a big enough following, but yet their engagement and their tap through to their website and their sales are great. So it's really hard. And I think the thing that I struggle with the most is, once we do our job, if we're mainly social for a client, once we do our job and we're saying, okay, your engagement is through the roof and actually your website taps, your profile taps are massive, but then they go, well, I'm not getting any sales, but we're not responsible for your website.
Yeah.
And then
you brought them to the door. To whether they went through or not is down to what's happening.
And then you sit down
end.
and you try.
Yeah.
And I'm a collaborator through and through.
And will you then build that website with them?
If they want us to,
if they want to, yeah.
Or I'll say, we'll work with your website developer.
Yeah.
As you know, we've worked with you with that.
You have with us. I mean, because there's no point unless it will actually let you in and become a buyer.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've done it so many times, Jen. I've gone, do you know what? I can't see prices. I don't know where all the recommendations are.
Yeah.
Swipe.
Sometimes
next one.
People just overcomplicate a website.
Yeah. Or they all over it. We did this, we've been that, we've been this, that. No, I just want to know whether you do it in red, black and white. You know, and it kind of is, as a buyer, you kind of want the frictionless to be gone. Yeah. That you can just get on and do your stuff.
People are, their attention span, definitely the younger generation, they're just click, 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 click. Yeah. They don't want to read anything.
Yeah.
But also we're busy.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to do like 3 things at a time. You know, you just want to get that information. And that's something I find really frustrating when it comes to content, is that you can create amazing content, whether it's written, graphic, you know, design, video, photography, whatever it might be. But then you get them to the door and then it's let down. Yeah. And that's where my job, I get frustrated, because my background is marketing. When I started marketing, I still worked in direct marketing.
Right.
So it was getting the right data. How's that data segmented? Who, you know, is it an insert? Is it a direct mail piece? Is it telephone marketing? Is it direct?
But this would also make it very easy to track it as well, because they want to know tracking numbers back in the day, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
If I spent this £1, did I get that much dollar back? You know, and that's what that was.
And
what
a
it was
lot
all
of
about.
social, it is brand awareness, and you can't track everything. No. Obviously, you can track everything, but you can't monetize. You can't just look at that and go, right, I spent this.
But Jenny, we look at followers.
Yep.
And subscribers has no reference to how many people watch the bloody video or actually watch my post. They're way off the number. They're like 60% more.
Yep.
It doesn't tell the whole story, does it?
But actually what that does is the more people that are watching, you're then creating the consistency.
Yeah.
So if they keep seeing that, then they're more likely to become a follower, because they're like, okay, I'm watching this, I'm seeing it, it's in my algorithm. When I do come across this piece of content from yourself, I'm actually watching it in full or halfway through. So
how do we do this though? How do you explain to listeners and viewers that what we talk about, and when I've been in meetings with you, you talk about we have ambient marketing and branding, and then we have hunting, when they're hunting with pay-per-click and they're looking, I want to buy a wedding. So they're 2 very different things, but they do join up, don't they?
Yeah, which again is a difficult conversation sometimes, because you have people that are paid like pay-per-click specialists, paid media specialists, and then you have what we do is mainly organic content. We can do that. But they're 2 different budget lines. Yeah. They're 2 different tone of voices.
Yes.
You're asking someone to take an action. When you're paying pay-per-click or when you're paying for a paid post, you want someone to take an action. Whereas with your organic content, you're trying to make someone understand who you are and what you're about and how does that person make you feel. And it's more narrative, more story-driven.
Colouring the palette of what the company is
and
about.
You're then catering for people that are currently following you. It was really weird, because when we first took you guys on, within about, I think it was 3 months, one of my other clients who's in the wedding industry said, oh, Banner Park House, have you seen their Instagram recently? It's amazing. I don't even have to click on. I know it's a Banner Park. And we were like, yeah, that's us. And even if we don't have your colour scheme or your logo in, it needs to look and feel like you. Even if it's obviously not even, it could be a close-up of something. It looks and feels like you.
As my sort of journey to learn more about this, say over the last 6 years, it is, you know, we had an agency.
Yep.
Now that really went horribly wrong, because as soon as we asked for something, they just put their hand up and said, yeah, we do that. Yeah, oh yeah, we do that. Yeah, we do pay-per-click. Yeah, oh yeah, no, we do all that. We do SEO.
Yep.
We do this. People, please don't do that. When they say they do all that, don't use people that do that, because that really was a waste of tons of money. Like tens of thousands of pounds went down the toilet. We never got anything for it, and all we got was a load of speak and Zoom.
This is the thing. We can go on and do people's paid media, but none of my team enjoy it.
No.
And they're not specialists.
Yeah.
So this is a conversation that Lola and I have had this year, is do we partner with a paid media company that we've used and we get on with really well? And it's not about getting a little kickback. It's just making sure we're giving someone to our clients that we don't mind them having contact with. We know they're going to nurture them like we nurture them. Or do we, again, say, okay, let's get someone in on quite a hefty salary for a paid media specialist who sits within us, but we don't know whether our return investment is right for us.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. I'd rather pass that on to someone that I recommend and have a really good partnership with another agency.
I think stay in your lane would be my thing. I think it's very important that you become the specialist in really what you do know. But I definitely think that you should put another product in your business where you do a consultancy, where you come in and do a review.
That's what we do now.
See, reviews, I think paid
started.
reviews. I did a paid review with somebody else. Kelly came in and done that. I did it with Kelly and yourselves. It just gives you an over helicopter view of someone that's not in the business. Like you would go into a business, look down, and you can say, this is super, this is great, and the colours you've done here for lovely, but why are you doing that?
Yep.
And why are you leaving all the money on the table and not doing that?
Yep.
Well, for an owner, it's just great, because the owner's not telling anybody off. It's this third-party consultant that's coming in, sitting down with the team and going through their report.
Yep.
And then everybody can either put their hand up and say, yes, I think you're right, I don't need to work here anymore because I'm not contributing anything, and bloody well leave. Or you bring in new people, or you shape shift what's going on and how it's to happen for the future.
This is exactly the direction that I want to go in for my journey. When I look in 10 years' time, when I'm nearly 50, what do I want to be doing? And obviously I'd love to be inspired to grow and have the management that I've got in now to then, I mean, they're great anyway, and they've really helped me this year to do what I need them to do and step out of their comfort zones. So next year's really exciting. I'm excited for them of what they're going to be doing. But what do I want to be doing? I don't want to be working crazy amount of hours. You know, I've like even little things. And I look at my daughter and she says, I want to be a hairdresser and I want to have a salon. Well, I used to be in that world. So do you know what? I'd love to be able to run a salon with her because I actually do miss the salon world. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So consultancy is something that I definitely want to push more. We've actually just been made consultants for the content consultants for West Ham's charity, the West Ham Foundation, which we do out of goodness of our heart as like our little charity partner to them, because the work they do is amazing, and you know, and
what that could lead to. Blah, blah, blah.
It's more just for me. I always, I used to work in marketing for Bernardo's, so in the charity sector, and I chose to leave agency because I really wanted to do it. I was like, I love marketing, but I want to do something that feels good. Yeah. And I loved that job. That was one of my best times I've ever had. I learned a lot. I'm still friends with a lot of people that I worked with. So it was like a natural progression. We got work with the foundation because of another client who's a charity partner as well. And they kept chatting and asking me questions. And I was like, guys, why not just come in once a month? You know, if it helps you, it's just that extra person to look at it from an outsider's point of view. And that's great.
With your busy schedule, you know, just another day you could just throw in the mix. Yeah.
But that's for me. It's looking to the future. What do I want to be? Yeah. Not just sitting and going with the flow. It's like I would love to do that more. So if I've got this opportunity, let me just put myself out.
If you're bringing the team up through the ranks as well, what I love about what you just said there is that you're giving your staff the opportunity to grow and have a career with you. Yeah. And I think that's very different than having a job.
Oh, 100%.
And if they've got a career, that means that if they try to get poached or whatever, they'll see that in a different way, that actually, well, I'm on a pathway here. Yeah. And we have been told a story by Jenny what the future looks like, and we're in it. Mm-hmm. So they will probably just hang around and be part of it.
We do have a really good retention of staff. Yeah. Lola's a really good example of that. I know she won't mind me saying this, but she started with me, like I said, 5 years ago, and it was for her was to look after social clients or assist on social clients at the time. She was only 19, but I just fell in love with her from the moment I met her. It was like she was like a little sister. And then because of COVID, we were doing more websites, we were doing more design, and it was like, this isn't what we're supposed to be doing. And she got headhunted.
Really?
And she comes, and I remember her on a Sunday night, she ruined my takeaway, and I was more fuming that she ruined my takeaway that I've been looking forward to all day. She was upset, and she was like, I don't know what to do, because I love you and I love being inspired, but it's not going in the direction because of COVID. And I went, you need to go. Take this opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm so proud of you that you've been headhunted.
Wow.
Go for it. And about 3 weeks later, she called me, I've made a massive mistake. I said, no, you haven't. It's, new job, nerves, new job, just go with it. You'll be fine.
That was very generous, Jenny, to do it that way.
To this day, we both say, like, it was the best thing that ever happened, because she went away and she learned different ways of working. She'd had a job before that. She used to work for Charles Worthington as a marketing assistant. So she'd kind of gone through the motions, and it just never felt right for both of us. And then I said to her, look, come back. And I remember she was on holiday and we were just texting constantly the whole time. And her partner was like, who on earth are you messaging constantly? We're on holiday. And she was like, I'm going to go back to be inspired. And I had clients tell me I was mad. She's left? And I was like, because I believe in her and I believe in us two together and what we can create. And at this point, I think we had someone who worked for us part-time. And then someone else, like another full-time person. I was like, I just really believe in what me and her can achieve together.
Because your work, and especially with her, you're both very creative. But I talk a lot about business owners and entrepreneurs in general are very creative.
Yeah.
Creative of how to solve problems, how to solve products that people will love and want and need. All of those things. And I think we get a bad rap of how artistically creative the business world is, and how you really have to have consideration that it doesn't work without very much planning, foresight, trying to second guess what the future is going to look like for a product, or what the economy is going to do for a brand, or price pointing. We talk so much at wedding about price point. Is it going to push customers away? Is it going to be that we bring them in at a lower entry level and then build them up over the period they're with us waiting for their wedding to come? And it's a lot of work and a lot of effort.
Well, it's true. Like that Be Embedded that I've spoke about, we've been talking about that for over a year.
Okay.
The original idea and it come, and then I was like, let me think about it. And then we've actually pitched it to probably 10 now marketing managers.
What, to test?
Fake pitches.
To test what they
we
think
said, can we
of
take
it?
you for lunch and fake pitch to you?
Yeah.
So you can pick it.
That's such a good idea.
Tell us what's wrong with it. And everyone was like, we even,
Well, I'll have it.
They've got to get budgeting through, and they have to have a need for that person. And the thing for us, and when I spoke to freelance about it, they're like, we're creating a pool of these creators that once a quarter we'll get all our heads together and we'll have, training sessions and workshops and discussions. And, if someone's working in that within a year, a lot of the time that brand can become, if you're working it full time, can be a bit boring. Mm-hmm. So actually we can go, okay, Jane, you've worked great on that account, but we're going to swap you with Tom and we're going to switch you over. But you're going to have someone there who supports and understands that brand, and we can have that really good crossover. So then we're building that pool of, network of freelance and creators that can all learn and work together with each other. It's not just about the brands. Mm-hmm. And that's how I'd love to see that grow. And bringing like young talent up. Because, my apprentice now, I literally had a phone call from her. Someone I know said, can you have a chat with her? She's at uni, she's hating it. She just doesn't know what direction to go in. And within 5 minutes, I just knew. And that's the thing about recruitment. I don't look at CVs. I don't get references.
What, just by having the conversation?
I just have the conversation. I'll know within a few minutes. And I remember a business coach said to me, what do you mean you don't get references? I was like, I don't care what your opinion is of that person. If I think you're right for me and my business and for the team, then I'll take a punt on you.
There's a bit of voodoo and witchcraft goes in sometimes, doesn't it, when you meet someone and you think they're a good fit. Yeah. And it's about here, we just recruited a new lady coming in, Kylie, and we went. It took a long time to do it. That was it. And there was lots of applicants. It was a great job. but are they going to fit in with the culture that's already here? Are they going to be a fit where they'll actually be okay with the rest of the team? Because we don't want to break the team just by bringing someone new because we're telling you that they're really good.
Yeah.
And that consideration. I like here that from the gardeners to estate workers to manual workers that we've got, there's quite a few of the people that work here at the estate. They all know that filming is going on daily. There's filming going on more or less every single day here. You might be doing a shoot here. We might have wedding dress designers here. It'd be shooting for me. Ollie's shooting for you for content for the socials. It's part of our DNA now that we are putting video out to promote this business into the rest of the world that might not have heard about us to come to us. And this is Entrepreneurs Conversations. You need to start embedding that in your thinking of how you're going to run your business into the future. Because if you're not, others are. Aren't they? Everybody else is.
It's forward thinking. It's also how people digest content now.
It's investment as well. It's a serious investment, but underwriting that there is going to be a future for the company.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, the start, like tea is a great example of that. Within 5 minutes, I knew, and I said, do you want an apprenticeship? She went, oh. I was like, leave uni.
And how long ago was that, Jenny?
Well, she finishes her apprenticeship in January, so 18 months. Probably about 20 months because she was still at uni. So it was probably 2 years in May, like just gone.
Will you retain her or not?
Yep, she's been given a junior producer role.
All right, cool.
So.
And has she loved it?
Yes, she absolutely, like, lives, breathes, needs it. Lives, breathes, needs it. Some expression.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but I knew straight away, and I said, quit, if you don't like it, quit uni, you start in September.
Yeah, it's cool.
We'll get you an apprenticeship. And now we've had such a great experience, we'll be recruiting another. And it's so great to see her confidence rise. That she's out there today on a shoot with no one, doing it by herself. She's great. Yeah. And the clients love her, and she just fits in well. What are you, for your own development, what do you do? Are you reading books? You listen to podcasts? Do you go on seminars? Do you do any stuff? Or do you know it all? I know it all. I'm just great. Yeah, right. If I don't like it, I'm not doing it, so I don't care. I'm very much, I do try to read. I'm reading a book at the moment which is about women in business and being a mother, because I think that's something that I'm really up to your neck in. I'm quite, I mean, my 2 children compete. One's a basketball player who plays national level, and for under 14s and under 16, she has to go training an hour away 3 times a week. Every weekend, I was in Norfolk on the other day, Aylesbury the day before, like Birmingham the weekend before that. So I actually had a client say the other day, she was like, how do you do that? How do you do that? I don't really know, with a lot of help. So it is a lot of juggling, but for me, they're at that age where they're so impressionable, and I want them to see that it's a very precious time. Like they can do that. I will do everything I can to make sure they're at the places they want to be, and let them explore who they are. And this book talks about this. Yeah. And what's it called? One more time. It's called. What's it called, Ollie? I keep forgetting it. I keep forgetting the title. But Ollie will put this up. We'll put this up on the edit as well. So I started reading this a couple of weeks ago, and I don't get a lot of time, so I do have to switch between reading or audio. Yeah. But it's just a way of getting it through. What's it called, Ollie? Sorry. I Know How She Does It. I Know How She Does It. There we go. I Know How She Does It. And who's it by? Laura. There you go. I knew it was a Laura. Vanderkam? Yeah. Laura Vanderkam. I Know How She Does It. Anything else you're doing? Do you go to like trade stuff? Do you go and... No, I really want 2026. I have made a lot of changes this year, which has been really, really hard. But I'm looking forward to how we're restructuring, where we want to be, the stuff like obviously the new launch, and also putting myself out there more, because I've not been great the last year. So I just want to. I mean, we have our hiccups and stuff in our private life and what we need to do, but I think it comes back to our world ends up being about who we are as business people as well. I mean, the private life is a difficult juggle. I get that, but I think if you can produce successes for yourself, and the whole consultancy thing, I think is a great thing. I think you'll be very good at it, because I think that
people will want someone to tell them what's going on, as opposed to trying. I've had consultancy and they're nurturing me. I don't want to be nurtured.
No.
I want your 10,000 hours, and can I have it on Wednesday, please? Because I've got something I want to get on with. And I think you'll be very good at giving that structured advice from the hip. Yeah. And I think that is very powerful, and people will pay a lot of money to have you either retained or to come in and do a SWOT analysis on their company.
Yeah, I do get a lot. I mean, again, go back to Lola. She was like, you give so much advice and info for free.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah, but we both do. I do that every day because I'm passionate about getting people to the next place. But you need to find a balance between not becoming this not giving person, but also be monetising what you've got inside your head to give to other people. I invite you to have a look over my shoulder at my newsletter. If you want to hear about the things that grab my attention each week that could bring you value, sign up in the episode description. Now, back to the pod. This is
one of your ADHD moments.
No. This is a dyslexic freak out.
Okay.
So this is Ollie. Hit the button. Hit the jingle. We are going to Tombola time now.
It's Tombola time.
We came up with all this. It's very complicated. The ball equals a question. You pick a ball. Be careful. It's quite sharp. I bought it on Amazon. We keep saying how cheap we are on the show. Right, question
16.
what? Question 16.
16.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh.
no. Edit.
What has been your biggest challenge so far? And how did you overcome it?
Oh, God.
What has been your biggest challenge so far, and how
One
did
that
you
I can say on
overcome
camera.
it? Well, yeah, it's got to be something you can say on camera.
Oh, God.
I mean, my biggest challenge has been sometimes finding those key members of staff. I mean, it's been, we've kissed a few frogs in my years, but to find those members of staff, Ollie, that has been a big challenge sometimes. And it's like, do you think we could just be lucky? No. You need to really do work on it and hire, slow, fire, fast. And that saying is so true. But that's been a big challenge for me.
100%. And I do find trying to recruit in Essex for what we do is really hard.
Why in Essex? Where would it be easier then? Surrey?
London? It's because where we're based in Essex, a lot of the people that live around here, they can go and get jobs in London. It's a commuter city, isn't it?
For more money.
Potentially more money, but
more bright lights,
more
lunchtime.
Definitely. Yeah, they feel like it's
more lifestyle. Yeah,
I can't compete with that.
No.
The only thing I did actually say is when both my kids are in senior school, I would love to have a London office,
right?
As like somewhere that we could work from if we need to, and if I need to recruit more people, I can then have that, and I can switch between the two.
Right.
I love that we have this here, and it's great because we do a lot of stuff in the studio now as well. But actually, we do have quite a few London clients, so I could balance it that way.
On cost, though, that would be, wouldn't it? That would be quite expensive to have an office there.
Very expensive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
very
to get
expensive.
up there in the smoke.
Yeah, like some shoots will cost me, if we've got to get there before 9, £45 each in a train fare.
Yeah, no,
it's a lot.
Serious money,
so then you have to consider that as well.
Yeah, and build that into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's go for another one, Ollie, shall we? Let's do that.
Got a random flyer.
I know. You love them on a shoot, don't you?
It's Tombola time.
Go for it, Jenny. We are in question
18.
Question 18. Oliver?
How do you make decisions when you're unsure of the right direction?
My gut.
Oh, very good answer. Yeah.
Even if I know it's wrong, I'll be like, well, something's telling me I should do it, so I'm just going to do it anyway.
There's a great book, talking of books, Malcolm Gladwell, Blink.
Okay.
Yeah, if you know that, look that up. We'll put that on there, Blink, and it's all about that gut, and never discount that.
Mm-hmm. I go on that a lot.
Yeah.
And
you
a lot of people think I'm
90% of that is okay, or
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had something. I won't say what it was, but I had something this year where I was like, I know. I know I had no evidence, but I knew. And as soon as I
Yeah, I think that's very good.
dug deep,
Yeah.
I got the evidence within about 20 minutes, and I was right.
We did a big interview thing here about 5 years ago for a head gardener. I mean, lots, like 60 people applied,
Yeah,
ended
but
up
you
with
got the
12
best one.
people. We've got the best
We
one, haven't
love
we?
Sam.
Because Sam came and he was all tense, nervous, tattoos, long hair, big beard, all this, I see you've turned up for a great interview, you would have thought. But beneath all that hair and beard and stuff was a real sweetheart of a man that really knew his stuff. Ex-farming, ex-sort of horticultural background, had run a big team before, had a crap job in one of these sort of factory producing flowers for supermarkets. It wasn't a great environment for him. And I spent about 25 minutes with him, and I knew straight away that he was the one. And I still had about 10 more to interview.
Yeah.
And did I want to go through it? I did go through it, and I just, as soon as it was all finished.
I have actually got something to admit.
Yeah.
If I know I found the one, I make other people do the interviews.
Do you?
Yeah, because I'm not wasting my time.
And this is the real Jenny. You saw it here on the pod.
If I know who I need,
Yeah.
if that person clicks with me,
Yeah.
and it could be for any reason. I've had people that are extremely talented walk through. So Amy, my editor, she applied for the job. She was fresh out of uni. I had someone up against her. There was the last 3 people that we'd come for a second interview. The girl on paper had 8 years editing experience for big brands. She should have got that job hands down.
Right.
But there was just something about Amy, and I was like, I want to give you a go.
Okay.
And everyone at the time was like, are you mad? Why are you doing that for? And I was like, I don't care. I want to give it. And now that girl is insane. Like, I love her to absolute death. But what she's created, how she's nurtured that role, how every ounce of passion goes into it. It wasn't just a job to her.
No.
It was her opportunity to do what she wanted to do. And that was so important for me as well. But yeah, Lola hates me when I go, I found the one. You can do the rest of you can do the rest of the interviews. And it's just because I'm so busy that I just think, well, if I know, I know. And there was a Charlie who works for me now. I was in and out of LA, and I had to say, Lola, just do the interviews, because I think I went to LA 3 times in like 6 weeks, and I was like, I can't think about this. You need to do it. And I trusted her so much that I didn't even meet Charlie till her first day.
Really?
Yeah. Because Lola knows me so well.
Yeah, that she could do
that. I was like, we need someone
she
to start.
was in tune with where you would have been on it as well.
Yeah.
But just do that question again. It was what was the most...
How do you make a decision when you're unsure of the right direction?
Yeah. I think gut is the right answer for it. That's from me as well. I do end up going that space. I talk to the universe a lot.
So do I. The Secret was the first book I read.
Yeah, The
that
Secret's a
clicked,
good book.
Which I think people say that now, and you think, oh God, yeah, okay. But I still,
it's a bit woo-woo, but is it,
but I still go back to it.
Because I've used it for so long, I've used it for 25 years. I know over that 25 years, I've lent in, asked that thing to do it. Imagine me being there and doing it, and it sort of come to me.
Do it every time.
We'll put that up as a thing if we can in the edit, if you can, Ollie. But I think that's a really good read.
My kids do it.
Yeah.
They put affirmations on their walls. We're looking at a new house at the moment, and my eldest went to me, Mum, I just keep imagining when I'm in bed every night, because we're waiting to see if it's coming through. I just lay in my bed and I imagine that I'm in my new bedroom.
That's lovely.
And it's, they don't realise they're doing it, but, it's like if they see a white feather, they're like, oh, that's Nanny Bernie. Like, I'm trying to make them realise.
Change the wallpaper on your phone to what you want.
Oh, she does that. Everything's colour-coded.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
So it's very much, they hear and see things without, like I'm born on the 22nd of February, so my angel number is 222. And the amount of times that comes up is crazy. Like, if I'm not sure about something, and then it will randomly, and I'll be like, okay, I've made the right decision.
We're going to do another one?
Let's do one more.
One more. We do 3 altogether. Right, here we go. It is Tombola time.
It's Tombola time.
This is the most excitement we have, isn't it, Oliver, really? Right, here we go. Right, go, Jenny.
4.
Question 4.
Number 4. If you could give one piece of advice to someone starting a business today, what would it be?
Just go for it. Don't overthink it. If you're passionate about it, then your passion will see you through to what's right, and what you think your business looks like when you first start it to a year's time, and then a year later and 10 years later is going to change so much. But just go for it. If you feel like you've got that need to do it.
I think it is. I think that is the thing, because we did this keynote speech at a university the other week, and there was I didn't know there was this thing. There was the entrepreneur's degree.
Oh.
The question was, when is the right time to start my business? And my answer was yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, you need to just launch. You need to get out there, and I think that's it. The market will soon mould you and teach you what you need to know.
Yep.
Because you won't have any sales, or you'll be selling it too cheap and you have loads of sales or whatever. But you've kind of got to go out there, get some experience and scars. I was talking the other day, Ollie, wasn't I, about people going to have an entrepreneur apprenticeship. So if you want to be in marketing and stuff, go and do an apprenticeship with somebody like your company, and then eventually set up your own company. But if you're that good, the owner might retain you anyway. So before you just go and have all scars in your back, go and really find out if it is the thing that you want to do. You know.
I think following that, it's then building people that you trust around you, and knowing who you can come. You know, I'm still learning. I've still been stung I've been stung a couple of times this year, and it hurts. It really hurt, to the point where,
to hurt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It
and
kind
I
of is,
think,
and it's
how
good
dare
that it
you?
hurts.
And
I know,
then you take a step back and you think, all right. And then I think, oh, screw you, whatever, let's move on.
And guess what, Jenny? We're responsible. It's our fault.
Yep.
It's always our fault. It's because we didn't do this, or we didn't do the check, or we didn't ask for the money quicker, or we didn't explain that it didn't include that, or whatever it is. And you just get better at making sure you would mitigate those things when you set up a new customer, or whatever it might be. Yeah. But it's always down to us as the owner, founders, and the people steering the company, and how those sort of methods and processes of selling something or a service work. Right, okay, Jenny, we've kind of done our feature. We've sort of eaten it already in the episode. So what are we reading? Go for the jingle, because I know you like to play the jingle, Ollie. Let's do the jingle.
What are we reading? What are we reading?
It's so professional. So what we've mentioned is The Secret, that we're trying to edit and put up. We've mentioned Blink, that is Malcolm Gladwell, and that is a really great. And look at Malcolm Gladwell; he's a great commentator, brilliant set of books. Tipping Point he did as well, and David and Goliath, really fantastic books. I like Malcolm Gladwell. And then Jenny's book was
I Know How She Does It.
I Know How She Does It by
Laura Vanderkam.
Vanderkamp. Right, so Jenny, you haven't got far to go back to work. It's literally about 25 steps that way, but it's quite good. Thank you for your time. I'm sure the conversation will be very inspiring for other people that want to get in your space, other people that want to be doing that stuff, and founders of business. If you've not got someone like Jenny in your world, Jen, you need to find out and get her to come. So where do they find you? Do the sell. Come on.
Beinspiredmedia.co.uk.
Slower.
Beinspiredmedia.co.uk.
And you will be pleasantly surprised. She's not as painful and horrible as she comes across on stage.
I'm not horrible.
No, I won't say that. That's crap right there. You will be pleasantly surprised that Jenny will come along and treat you with kitten gloves and work out all your needs.
I'll be honest.
That's it. I think that's all we want.
But if I'm there in your space and I believe in your brand, then me and my team do everything and go above and beyond. So if I feel like we're not right for you, I will be honest to say we're not right for you, but try these guys.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Yeah,
because that's what it's about.
It is. Thank you ever so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. If you've enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, leave a comment. There's someone you know that could gain something from what we do here. Pass the pod. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you on the next one.